has been a while. So this is gonna be a ramble video with some footage in the background over the past few days and my goals and plans from here. So a few days ago it started off, Bowenader from Torres hosted a Rune Link tournament, and surprisingly that's what got me back into RuneScape, because it actually was a lot more fun than expected. Yeah, go figure. Thanks to Zulu and Orptastic for casting it, and well, Zulu for streaming it as well, and congrats to Frog on the win. So I haven't really played in a long time, and by play I mean actually like, accomplish something. I actually play, like I come back now and then, like I log in, maybe flip some items or do a new quest or a new boss if it came out, and then quit again. But the longer I quit for, it's also the harder to get back into it, because I always have the mentality of, well, I could have done this like 2, 3, 4 years ago, what's the point in doing it now? And then I just quit again. So I think me as a player is, I'm very good on like early game releases or new seasons or something, because it's like you start from scratch and you pretty much go at it from that date onwards. But as soon as I quit something or don't do it for like a month, 2 months or more, it's very hard to get back to the same goal again later on. So over the past few months, pretty much been playing Path of Exile, well kind of playing, more like AFKing and trading, and tried out Wolsen that recently came out, and well, pretty much was not worth the money. Lately I've just been bored, waiting for the next Path of Exile expansion, which is still 2 or 3 weeks away now. So then, like I said, thanks to the Rune Link tournament, I was like, hey, let's play some RuneScape, and surprisingly I actually got back into it, well, a little bit at least. Like I said, Path of Exile is a game that I usually only play for like the first 2 weeks every new season, which is every 3 months, so for the remaining of the time, I want RuneScape to be my main game again. So every time I'm not playing Path of Exile, pretty much want to play RuneScape to finish goals that I didn't like ages ago. I want to change my mentality of, well, if I didn't do it 4 years ago, what's the point? Well, I want to start just finishing it anyway, so later on I'll be like, well, at least I finished it, right? So what goals am I planning to finish? Well, I don't really think I'll go for XP goals ever again. I think 1 bill XP was probably the final one I'll get. Maybe one day I will finish 20 mil base finally, which, I mean, nowadays it doesn't mean as much as back in the day when I first went for the goal, which was probably around 2016 or something, when I think only 3 people had 20 mil base back then. And well, now I'm pretty close. I think I only have four skills or something left, so it's not that much, but I don't think I will, simply because if I look at the high scores, for example, now, and it's like, well, the players like I used to be competing with, well, not really competing, but like the ranks, like the player names that were around my rank, a lot of them are still in the top 100, top 200, and then I look at my rank and I'm like top 500 or something. I think I'm ranked 500 overall or something, which, it's pretty hard to now start grinding for like 1k hours, 2k hours or something, and that'll probably only get me back in like top 300 maybe, which is nowhere near where I even used to be. So it's pretty hard to get back into XP grinding if you've taken like years off. So I will just focus on completionist stuff mainly, and especially the collection log, which was the newest edition. And I will leave the competing for ranks and stuff if they release. Well, I doubt it, but if maybe Deadman comes back or more Twisted Leagues, like the latest Twisted Leagues, I think I was rank 2 for like the first few weeks, and then I went on holiday and, well, yeah, didn't play, and then I played like the last week and a half or something just to get my Dragon Cup still. So it was pretty fun though. If I didn't go on holiday, I probably would have grinded it way more and tried to hold rank 1 for a lot longer, which, well, I mean, if you've been around, like there was a lot of drama around the actual rank 1 on that game, but looking back at it now, if I didn't go on holiday, probably would have been first to max, because I had the Bible's relic, and well, he got stuck on his Bible, so I probably would have passed him then. But I went on holiday, didn't do it, so I can't really take credit for it. Rank 2 forever. So, back to the gameplay. The first thing I did when I came back is I bought 1k Dragon Imps. Now, obviously, this is not gonna be worth it, like, it's never gonna be worth it really, but I was like, hey, I have a lot of extra money, so may as well spend some. Like, it'll help me get the 200 elite clues, which I only had like 40 elites since I never really PVM, so I never get elites. And well, Dragon Imps are way too expensive for elites, so I never did them. But I thought, hey, 1k D Imps, from looking at loot videos, I figured it cost around 10 mil per elite clue, so I figured I'd spend around 200 mil on this, which I pretty much got exactly right. I think I bought the imps for 331 mil, and the loot I sold for 140 mil. This is just the loot from the implings themselves, so it's not including the loot you get from clue scrolls themselves, which you could get lucky, get third age, but what are the odds on that? Like, I think the average clue from an elite is few 100k, so you're pretty much getting nothing from the actual clue scrolls. So I lost 190 mil for 20 elites that I got exactly on raid, which, yeah, is definitely not worth it, and I don't think I'll repeat it anytime soon, unless I really get lucky and get like a big drop or something. After that, I think a good place I usually start when I come back is a Torres spreadsheet. If you don't know, Torres is a completionist type of clan, and they make spreadsheets of pretty much all of the completionist content there is in the game, which it ranges from like the smallest, most obscure things, like talking to an NPC that like changes his dialogue after the first time you talk to him, or you know, finding a random book in the middle of a random quest that you still have to obtain. So it really includes pretty much everything in the game, and the generals and the ranks in there, they usually try and keep it up to date with all the new content. They will explore every single bookcase, every single tile of the new area for anything completionist related. So that's usually my first place to go, so I know what came out, what's new to do and stuff. And the first thing usually is getting my bookcase and my music game back, because most content that gets added, it at least has either a book or a music track, or in most cases both. So I think if you took a long break from RuneScape and you want all the new content and stuff, that's a good place to start. So my bookcase, the main books I was missing was TOB, Theater of Blood, Raids 2, which, yeah, surprising, I actually never did, because when they came out I wasn't playing and I didn't come back for them, so I watched some videos when they came out, and I know site was like 4 bill or 5 bill or whatever, but yeah, I don't like PVM, so I was like, man, what's the point? So the problem with TOB, which was already an issue I heard when it came out, is it's pretty much impossible to find a team if you've never done it before. Like, even the original world, the teamed world for this 365, which is completely empty, but later on I found out that 416 is the like quote-unquote random world. So if you just want a random team, you just go 416. So I watched the video just to brush up on like what to do and each boss, but surprisingly, trying to remember 6 bosses, well, the last one even has different phases and each have like different like mechanics and stuff. By the time I actually found the team, I pretty much forgot like half of the stuff I watched, so I was like, But I ended up finding a Discord, I'll link it in the description, and it's like a massive Discord for raids, raids 1 and 2, and they have like mentor roles, so some people who like raid a lot, and they don't mind like taking a bit of time to teach people who've never raided before. So like they will go over your gear, what to do and stuff like that, and they'll take you on a raid to get like your first few KC to learn the ropes. So that's a very nice Discord for that. I ended up finding a guy, his name was Gram Fever, I think. So I spoke to him on Discord for a while and pretty much went over my gear. I told him I have max, but he still told me for learners it's better to take Void than to take Bandos and Ancestral and everything, because you get less switches, so less likely to mess up. So we went over my gear, everything, got it all sorted out, and he again went over like each boss, the mechanics and what to do, but it's a lot of information in a very short amount of time, so usually it's better to learn just by doing it itself. So he got 2 more of his friends and we hopped in a raid. The content you're seeing of the raid is not the best content. I think this one was the first one I did, and I think part of the second one, maybe, because we did 2 raids. The first one, we got to the last boss, but a lot of mess ups and ended up ripping on the last one. on last phase as well, so it literally was like 5% HP left, and well, everyone died that was alive, and I just couldn't kill it and died. So then the second raid went a lot smoother, like a lot smoother, because you know most rooms I kind of know what to do. I still messed up obviously, like you're not gonna learn everything in one raid, but most bosses went pretty okay, uh, except the last one. Versik was the one I messed up on the most. My first run, well, I pretty much just kept messing up. The second run, the one we got, my sister came in halfway through, and I was trying to talk to her while doing it. And there's a lot of mechanics. I kept messing up, like I kept going back in a tick too soon. I mean, if you've done 2B, you know what I'm talking about. And she kept hitting me, pushing me away, getting stunned, getting hit by the balls, and I just kept like pretty much being one tick too late in every action, and didn't fix it. But eventually we got it down, and I got my books. So thanks again to Grim Fever, Raid God, and yeah, old Ned. I think I was missing 2 more other books, which you know I quickly grabbed. And then after that, my music cape. I was missing 3 songs. One of them was Prifdinnes the Gauntlet, and one was Lord in Prifdinnes as well. Which, you know, I did the quest on day of release, but I just never went in the Gauntlet or North of the City. So got those, and then the last one is the Mimic, which you need to have a Mimic to get, which is like, I don't know the rates exactly. I think it's 1 in 15 from elites and 1 in 5 from masters. I don't know. I had a few in twisted leagues, but yeah, it was easy there. So originally I wanted to stack up my clues, but well, I couldn't because I really want the music kit back. So I opened them all, and luckily I got the mimics on my second last elite. So I think I had like 5 masters, maybe 6. I have no idea. I didn't count. And then I had like 20 elite, or no, I had 21. Because yeah, I actually got an elite from the one TOB I did, so that was nice. So yeah, ended up then opening the last few clues as well, and that's pretty much it. So from here on, pretty much what I'm gonna do is, well, go over to the spreadsheet and look at the things I've missed over the past few years, like the new content, because I don't have that much older content that I didn't do. I think back in the day when I first joined Torus, I had like most things completed at the time that were in the game, like completionist stuff. So I already had Castle Wars as an example, and you know, most of the things that were out, there wasn't that much compared to now. As for YouTube, pretty much my goal now is, well, I wish I started years ago, but you know, can't go back in time, so I'm gonna start now. I want to like categorize more and like capture more of the things I do in the game, not only for RuneScape but maybe other games as well, because I look back now and, well, I have screenshots and high scores and everything like that, but it's much nicer to make videos out of everything. Just like later on I can look back and be like, oh yeah, remember Twisted Leagues, or remember Deadman Season 7? Yeah, that's what I did there, stuff like that. So I think it'll be nice, and pretty much my goals now is, now and then, like in my quote-unquote downtime, if I have no other game to play or there's no seasonals out or nothing, I'll just go back to old school RuneScape and work on the completion stuff I never completed before, which, like I said, I want to change my mentality of, well, I could have done it 5 years ago, well, I didn't, so it's better to do it now. It's better to do it now than not do it at all, right? And finish my goals that way. But my priorities will still be on new leagues, new seasons, you know, if that man ever comes back, obviously that. If the next Twisted Leagues, which I think they're already started working on, I'm not quite sure though. But you know, once that comes out, obviously that will be a priority. And same with Pet of Exile, like I'll still play every Pet of Exile expansion that comes out, which is every 3 months, but I only really play the first 2 weeks, so it's not that much. And I also plan on making videos on, well, if Twisted Leagues comes out and stuff, because I usually go very hard on new leagues and stuff. Like most of the times, anything I do, I'll end up in, if it's RuneScape related, I'm usually in the top 5, like pretty comfortably. But I get way too lazy on making YouTube videos, so I just never do it. Even though sometimes, like Twisted Leagues, I did record quite a bit the first few days, but I'm very bad at editing and it takes me so long, so I just end up deleting everything I recorded, and I'm like, well, never mind. And that will be enough rambling for now. It has been quite long already, and I'm pretty sure no one's still watching at this point, but if you did make it this far, thank you very much. then hopefully this time I'll stick to YouTube longer than last time, since it's been like 7 months I think. So see you in the next video. Bye.